Well, new numbers show the housing market might be slowing down a little bit in the metro area, but housing prices are still at an all-time high.
Most certainly they are. One real estate expert says now is still a great time to buy as we head into the fourth quarter. 9 News anchor Corey Rose is in the Information Center with more.
We wanted to get an update on the housing numbers and the housing market, so we brought in Realtor Wade Perry to talk about how the market has been shifting.
Corey, the market has been shifting. In order for us to understand it, though, let's look and see where we've been. For about 18 months to 2 years, we've been in this situation where there's been a very low number of homes available for sale, and we've had buyers going through multiple offer situations, being shut out at the window, lots of frustration. Well, that window is opening for the buyer right now. In the month of September specifically, we've seen more price reductions of the existing homes that are on the market. In fact, in the last 7 days, over 1,000 homes lowered their prices. We haven't seen that in years. The second thing is we have more new listings on the market, which means the buyer has more choices. It also means that the seller no longer has the extreme advantage over the buyer. The average sale price you'll see is up 11%. A lot of people might think, my gosh, I'm getting priced out. But in the month of September alone, those prices dropped 2%. That doesn't mean that we're at a peak and the market's falling. It just means that prices have come down a little bit, making it a little more affordable for the buyer. Overall, this is all good news for the buyer.
And then for a while, we were talking about the Fed raising those interest rates. And what the good thing is that they didn't raise them. So that's great.
The Fed will raise at some point, Corey, because as the economy gains steam, and as we've reported in the past, the world has the economic flu, so it's hard to raise. But they will raise at some point. But for right now, we have a brief window where rates are still low, about 4% on a 30-year fixed, 3.25% on the 15-year fixed. This really means that you can afford more home. And lenders are lending to people with lower credit scores. The average right now is about 700, and some people with credit scores as low as 660 are getting loans. So you can't think, I need this incredible credit score or all this money to do it. You need to look now.
So if a buyer's thinking, okay, if I buy now, am I buying at the top? Not really.
No, you're not. And this brings us to something we've reported on several times. It's called the Home Price Expectation Survey. This is 100 of the smartest people in the country, economists, mortgage bankers, lenders, et cetera, and they give their predictions, and they average all these predictions to come up with these numbers. So one guy may not be right, but the average is going to be pretty close. The most bullish guys are saying that we're going to go up by 25% over the next 4 years, an average of about 5% a year. The most bearish, pessimistic people think we're going to go up only about 11% a year. All told, if you're buying now, especially in Denver, 3, 4, 5 years from now, your property will be worth more. This is the time.
And this last graphic that we want to go to is really interesting because it really shows the rent versus the mortgage.
Correct. We've been talking up to this point about the people who should be buying. Let's talk about the first-time home buyer. And what we're going to see here is that historically, a buyer, meaning an owner, is going to pay about 22% of their income on rent, on their mortgage. Today, they're only paying 15% of their income on mortgage. Well, today, the renter is paying 30% of their income on rent. Let's see if we got this straight. An owner pays 15% of their income on mortgage. A renter pays 30% on rent. I'm not a smart guy, but I think I'd rather be an owner.
I think that you are right. As always, Wade, thank you so much. And we always put Wade's tips on our website as well at 9news.com.